All right, kiddies. Today we were talking about your mind. I want to invade your mind. I want to control your mind. October the 19th. No one has yet discovered the limitations of the power of his own mind. Well, there you go. So it's pretty much like unlimited or something. Pat Ryan, the chairman and CEO of Aon Corporation, the giant multinational insurance company, is fond of saying, you can't conceive how high up is except for the limitations of your own mind. It's not very good English, he admits, but it emphatically makes the point that the only limits that can be placed on the power of your mind will be those that you impose on it yourself. When you brainstorm, don't allow limits to be placed on any idea. Sometimes the ideas that seem the craziest at the time will later prove to be the most inspired. If you're working with your mastermind group, encourage the free flow of ideas from every individual present. Don't be critical or analytical during the brainstorming process. At this point, every idea is a good one. Cluster the ideas into groups of related thoughts so the best of them can later be shaped for practical application. There you go. Having a mentor that you're not paying $25,000 for their cell phone number, having a local mentor who's done what you're trying to do is a great idea. Picking their brain, getting ideas, learning how they think will help you learn how to think. Mastermind group, a lot of people who do reach success do tend to group around other successful individuals and get together on a regular basis and brainstorm, bounce ideas off of each other, see what the other's doing. You see that level of cooperation a lot at people who have made it. And once again, that goes back to the abundance scarcity thing. Poor people like jealously guard, because they don't have anything and they don't think they're ever going to have anything, whereas the wealthy know that there's always more, especially if you're willing to work for it and know how to work for it. So they don't have that scarcity mindset. They have an abundance mindset. Everything is plentiful. All the resources are plentiful. So mastermind group, definitely something worth doing. It's always good to get somebody else's perspective on something, and especially in the seed stage is what I call it, where you're just trying to generate a new way of thinking or an idea or method of doing business, or when I was trying to come up with another business that wasn't tourist dependent, right? And the music, which I play guitar, it was a natural for me, but that all came from a private brainstorming session, which entrepreneurs have a lot. There's time every day where you just need to think. We talked about meditating before. That's not necessarily the time that you're thinking about business. Meditation could be quiet thought time, clear your mind. But sometimes ideas can come to you during that quiet time or meditation period. So, definitely brainstorm yourself. And I think the key point of today is don't reject any ideas out of hand that come up, because it might seem crazy, as he says at first, but maybe it's if you modify it a little bit, if you spin it around, if you try that idea but with a different industry, something like that, and adapt it, make it your own. So there you go. You can't conceive how high up is except for the limitations of your own mind. So that also goes back to the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, and a statement that if you aren't afraid of your ultimate goal, if it's not big and scary, it's not big enough. You're being comfortable. You're setting too small a goal for yourself if it's not big and scary to you. It should be a big, hairy, audacious, with the BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. It should scare you. Otherwise, you're not aiming high enough. Test your mind, test your abilities, and see how high you can go. But don't forget, you don't run a marathon in 1 mile or 1 minute. It's 26 miles, right? Plus. So get to a quarter mile first, then a half a mile, then a mile, then 5 miles, then 10 miles, then the finish line for the marathon. You don't run the marathon. A marathon is not a 100-meter dash or 100-yard dash, right? It's a marathon. So that's it for today, kiddies.